Jeans,
These shoes.
these gloves.
Because I need something as reliable as I am.
Because they keep me light on my feet.
Because my hands are my tools.
Sometimes it's hard to keep up.
The hours are long.
My body wants to quit. But I'm proud.
It's who I am.
It's my grind. This is our coffee. And this is how it lives.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to This Week in Wrestling, brought to you by THS Wrestling, Facebook.com/THS Wrestling News, Instagram.com/THS.Wrestling, YouTube.com/that#show TV, and Twitch.tv/that #show. Holy moly. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I know some people in the chat had a very good weekend for the football teams that they root for.
Just get it out the way, Matthew. Just get it out the way.
We are going to talk about Jay White, Hard to Kill, Raw, AEW, NXT, SmackDown, and whatever else comes in between. My name is John, and I am joined by Neeson. Neeson, hello.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Also joined by Johnny P313.
What up, though? What up, though?
What's going on, guys?
I'm doing good. You know, just gotta say, thank you, Roman. I got me some fresh towels over here. They got food in my fridge. You know, Roman's just running everything, so eventually he'll be coming to THS. So I'm just preparing right now. So thank you, Roman. Thank you. You looking out for us. You know, Rome.
You know why? Because
big
SmackDown
homie.
is the greatest wrestling show on television right now. SmackDown. I said it.
Matthew. I mean, the Rams were literally just in a game yesterday. So they were in the playoffs. So
I don't understand, Matthew. Why so much hostility? Why?
Matthew, man, come down. We're gonna talk about Impact today.
Why? Yeah, we're gonna talk. Yeah. Save all that energy for our Impact conversation because I got a lot.
We got a lot to say. All right. Before we get to all of our wrestling talk, actually, before we get to the thing I was going to talk about, hello, new viewers. If we have a lot, holy moly! Thank you for watching the show in record numbers for the past 2 weeks. It has been unbelievably awesome that people come and join us for the great sport of professional wrestling, and we welcome you in and join the chat. Even if you have things to say like Matthew, or he just says, does LA even know what football is? Anyway, Death Wish coffee, guys. It's the strongest coffee on earth. You could use Death Wish coffee when you are staying up to all hours in the morning, watching Dragon Gate or DDT or All Japan Pro Wrestling or New Japan. You could use Death Wish coffee because it's the strongest coffee on the face of this planet. Go over to deathwishcoffee.com. Use the promo code #show at checkout for 10% off your purchase. Guys, we're going to do a follow-up. Do we follow up on this show?
Yep.
Oh, okay. We're going to do a follow-up from last week. We talked about Jay White and how he had said he had signed a 7-year deal with New Japan. Well, apparently he has been removed from the official New Japan Pro Wrestling roster page. So nobody knows what the hell's going on. He told the Young Bucks he re-signed with New Japan for 7 years. That might not be true. What do we make of this? Do you think New Japan's just having a little bit of fun?
If he leaves, or if he doesn't leave, this would basically be what Brian Pillman was supposed to do with WWF and WCW. And that will be the greatest swerve rules con gimmick pulled in professional wrestling today. That would take all energy and eyes off of everything that's going on in America if he stayed. Now, if he leaves, I stand by this, and I stand by this wholeheartedly. NXT is the best place for that man. I do not want to see him show up. I mean, he can show up at the Rumble, but I don't want to see him show up on Monday Night Raw, and then we just get bombarded with the fake crowd noise. The, oh my God! Ah! The fake "this is awesomes." The announcer having to be fake excited because WWE he's not AJ Styles. He's not AJ Styles spent 17 years. By the way, Untold AJ Styles on our Untold Royal Rumble, whatever it's called, that just came out today on the network.
Oh, it came out today? I got to check that out.
Fantastic. It is tremendous. I suggest everyone right after this go watch it. It's incredible if you haven't. But Jay White isn't AJ Styles. So he can't do a Rumble thing and everybody knows him. That was only for AJ Styles in Orlando, where was the home. Florida was the home for TNA for X amount of years. He spent time in TNA for 11 years. So it's a different thing.
Yeah, made sense to have him debut there.
Yeah. I don't see great marketing. This is what this whole JY situation is. Because the dope thing about it is, though, it's got people looking in New Japan posters for shows that are coming out months from now and just getting more attention on him. So if he stays, it's dope because he's getting more attention back on that brand and help building that up. Because it's supposed to be working on their American expansion or coming up or something like that. So honestly, it's just dope. And if he does decide to leave, it still works in his favor because now everybody's talking about him. They're wondering where is he going to go. So honestly, it's just good overall. I love what Jay's doing with this situation. He's playing it smart. To Nisa's credit, though, is think about this, guys have done this all the time. Rob Van Dam, we used to be Uncle Vince is calling me. I might be working Monday nights and blah, blah, blah. But it's dope, though. And with this one, it actually has a little bit of legitimacy to it because of the history we've seen. Because we've seen AJ Styles leave around this time. We've seen Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows leave. We've seen Shinsuke. We've seen AJ. We saw damn near half of AEW leave around this time this way. So the thing about it is that it adds to that story history that's already there and it's playing into the fans' mind. So he's playing chess right now and he's doing a damn good job.
So up next, we are going to talk about Impact's pay-per-view they had last night, Hard to Kill. It was on Fight TV. I'm trying to think of words that are good to say about this show. I want to say, let's just say the good things. I thought the main event was good. The Barbed Wire Massacre match was decent. The Knockouts Championship was also fun. And the X Division title match was good, with the exception of one person who probably shouldn't even be on television anymore because he's a terrible person, but that's just me. I think this was a missed opportunity all around. I feel like when you have this hot storyline of Kenny Omega coming in and wrestling on your card, Mike makes would have been a great $15 to $20 show. That's for sure. I think it was a missed opportunity. And I don't know what they could have done to fix that. I feel like maybe you put some more thought into your matches. We did have the breakup of the Deaners. We could have had a singles match with them. I think that would have also showcased those two guys because we don't know them as well as we know everybody else in there, except maybe for Joe Doring. I know a lot of people might not know Joe Doring by name, but I think there's just a lot. This match was pretty brutal. It ended on a very brutal note too. I'm trying to think if I thought the commentary was fine. During that match, it kind of seemed like they weren't reacting to a man getting barbed wire dug into his forehead, which seemed a little weird, but I think overall it was a missed opportunity. Neeson, I know you checked it out as well. What did you think?
I didn't like it. I'm going to just be blunt about it. I didn't like it. I thought it was not a show that I would have paid for if I would have had to pay for it. So I just thought you have this big main event. You got the whole wrestling world, as they kept saying through I watched the pre-show to the main show.
Yep.
All of wrestling world is eyes are on Impact Wrestling, and you didn't do anything to make me tune in to Tuesday. Now, granted, the women's tag team match, although I wasn't impressed by it, but I am impressed and have been a fan of Hogan and Steels.
Yes, I did not mention them when I was talking. Fantastic,
Right.
Great.
But you said you liked the match. So I didn't per se like the match, but I'm a huge fan of them, and they definitely have something authentic about them. It's not like they're acting like their characters. It seems like that is them, and just turned up, a tad bit. The Matt Cardona thing, it was weird because why would you debut Matt Cardona just to have a non finish, right? Like
that was awful.
So that was weird. It was just a lot of weird things that happened that it should have been a lot of great things that happened. I thought the main event was good, but I have a problem with Impact's tag team wrestling in general. It's just real sloppy and all over the place to me. Like it's really, really like, oh, this person could just come in and hit the person whenever they want and go back outside the ring. Like I get that everybody doesn't have to do WWE wrestling tag team, but it should be without rules. You lose psychology, and then you just waiting for the next wrestler to do a spot. And I'm not a spot fest wrestler watcher. I'm a story. I want to be drawn into it. I want an actual story to play out via the actual match.
Right.
Other than that, man, I think, like you said, to me, the highlight of the show was the Ethan Page versus Karate Man. Like that was great. I know I saw the internet didn't like it, and I loved it. I was like, this
was funny. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, like that's the entertainment, and I think Impact they are starting to do more type of entertainment stuff. Like they did Wrestle House over the summer. Or over whatever time, we're in a
last
pandemic.
year. Just say last year.
Yeah, who knows? But they did that, and I think when they take chances like this sets them apart from every other place. Like, stop being something you're not. My last comment: the sound. Why did they have a crowd? Why did they have crowd noise? Like that was canned crowd noise should be like it was terrible. And it wasn't even a crowd there. Like at least have wrestlers out on the side to make it seem like something. I thought D'Lo Brown did okay, but Matt Stryker at one point was like, yes, during this time we could hear the sounds of the ring. Let's take a listen in now. Nothing being said in the ring. So I mean, like they did miss the ball, and I think they're going to see it on the ratings where AEW has they're doing a lot of carrying to bring Impact, like to bring viewership over to Impact. And Impact isn't holding the ball or isn't carrying their own weight. And I need them to do so because they have very talented people and I need them to act like it.
Yeah, they do have a bunch of talented people over there. And it just kind of felt like we had a lot of, not that this makes it sound like I don't like multi-man matches, but I think you could have spent some time being like, hey, clearly we have all these guys you already know, but look at these guys that you might not know, like Chris Bay or Rohit Raju, who was very impressive. I thought those two guys were great. And I mean, I think honestly, I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of Ace Austin, but he should be in a bigger role because they believe in him and he shouldn't just be fed to Matt Cardona. I'm sorry. It just is like not great. But yeah, I mean,
well, so
yes,
unpopular opinion here. So I got to watch of it, and I only got to see 2/3 of it because the platform I was watching, I didn't get to see the last part. But I guess I am all alone. Oh, fuck, I like that shit. That shit was fire. Like I was here's the thing. Caveat: I've never really watched Impact Wrestling. Like I've always like seen highlights, and I've seen the old stuff back when AJ Styles was there and everything like that. But the current stuff, like I've never really watched it like all the way through. This is my first time like sitting down and watching this, and I was like, "Fucking shit." Low-key, thank y'all so much because y'all was trashing it so much in the chat yesterday that I thought it was a flaming garbage fire. So I went in there with so low expectations, like, and it turned out to be the grandma's boy for me. Grandma's boy was like, "The fuck is this shit? I'll go ahead and watch it. I'm bored. This shit's hilarious." And honestly, there was just so many things I like. Now, here's the thing: there were some problems and some definite matches that I didn't like, but because I had so low expectations, there's a lot of shit that stuck out with me. Like I got a list here, like. So but I've been able to. So first off, I had to turn it off and turn it back on. Like when I was watching the Decay match at first, and they came down, they did the whole like I'm gonna bite you, and they're gonna tag and jump out, then I'm gonna bite you. And when he came with the third bite, I was like, fuck this shit, no. And I walked away. But then I came back and tried to watch it again. And like again, like I like the women's tag team match a lot. Tara Hogan was dope. I like the energy there. I like what they were doing. I love the commentators. Like the commentators are dope. Like to hear D'Lo cracking jokes and whatnot. At one point, he called the one who's like recording the one of the matches. He's like, "All right, Karen, put your phone away." I was like, "Oh shit, get her, D'Lo."
Susan, yeah, Susan.
Then after that, the Ethan Page versus Cryder Man. That was amazing. I was like, "What is this? This is such genius." He started doing the bicycle kick from Mortal Kombat. I was like, "This shit is fire." I was like, "Why aren't people talking about this?" And I was like, "This is dope." I was like, "I need to see Karate Man on Cobra Kai season 4." So that was dope. Then the knockouts match I thought was dope because here's the thing, like again, this is my first time seeing, but seeing Deanna P like work so technically, I was like, damn, work over that knee, damn, work over that arm. What's wrong with that elbow? Why is it 5 different colors? This shit's dope. And so it kind of like pulled me in. Then again, the X Division match I thought was like really dope. Chris Bay, like when I saw that, I was like, man, this motherfucker's a star. I like this. I like the way he works in the ring. I like the movesets he's doing. He's charismatic as hell. Rohit, I've seen before. And so just see him still around doing shit, I was like, damn, he's a strong veteran presence, know how to keep the match going. This whole Mannix thing, it got me interested because as I'm watching, I'm like, so we know it's TJP, but he's pretending not to be. But it made me go look at TJP's Instagram, maybe try to figure out what the fuck's going on here. So it kind of pulled me in. And then the match was dope because X Division matches are always fire. Then after that, I'm gonna wrap this up. Then like lastly, like I gotta say, like I like the different body types. Like again, seeing women of different sizes, like when the WWE, they got like Nia Jax and a couple of people, but it was just dope to see women of different body sizes get a chance to shine and doing shit. So I was like, this is dope too. Like I enjoyed this, and like honestly, like fuck, I might have to tune in Tuesday, like because again, it caught me with some things. Again, a lot of it was like there was a style of bad stuff that I skipped over, and if I didn't mention the match, I didn't. It's for a good reason. But yeah, like these were the highlights for me. And I'm like, damn, I didn't know y'all was doing stuff like this, and you kind of caught my attention a little bit. And it's also they stole the hacker gimmick from WWE. That shit had me dying. I was like,
well,
Sammy Callahan has been doing that.
Solomon Crow, the original.
Solomon Crow, yeah, he's been doing that forever.
Okay, okay. All right, but we didn't steal it because I was looking like, damn, lawsuit, but okay.
No. All right. Well, I mean,
quick question. You've seen, I know you haven't watched Impact, but you've seen good wrestling, right?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm just asking.
No, but I agree with you. And there were problems. Like again, like you were bringing up the tag team stuff. Like there was things happening in the tag team matches. Like this is clunky. But again, my expectations were lower because like I knew it wasn't like WWE caliber, so my expectations were lower. And I know these are people who are going to get to that level someday. Then the other thing about it was like there were points like when Deanna was working over the leg, she had old girl in the middle of the ring, and they told her to break it up. I'm like, why the fuck did you break that shit up?
Oh,
she
so
literally got her old.
You're watching it like it was NXT 2013. Got it.
Hey, maybe. But shit, it was dope for me. It was fun. Because again, I just had so many low expectations. And again, like, fuck, I kind of want to check it out.
Yeah, hey, they got one.
They got one.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, real talk.
I'm going to start watching too.
I'm going to plug it all after air. We're not talking about this on air. But y'all really got to explain to me because I kept looking up on the internet because I feel like, why do I feel like I shouldn't like TJP, but I don't know why?
I'll get you. Don't worry. I got you. We'll talk about it later. Cool. So let's talk about some stuff that happened on Monday Night Raw. It came out earlier in the day. Oh, you know what? Is the Endgame Moose and Kenny? Do you think that's Endgame before we get to Raw?
If it is, I'm happy for Moose that he'll get the Kenny rub. Not a fan of Moose, but I'll be happy for him that he'll get the Kenny rub.
And also the next, sorry, Johnny, the next pay-per-view that they have has the Omega logo in the middle of it.
Center of the star, right there.
Center of it.
I like Moose, and I like what he was trying to do. What's you guys know I'm bad with names. I'm always terrible with names. What's homie's got name? Who's running with Kenny right now? Who's talking to him backstage about his contract?
Don Callis.
Yeah, I was looking like you're fucking Moose over right now because like when Moose was like, when I'm talking, you listening, but he kept interrupting. It was like, dude, no, you're supposed to back down, like kind of let this guy get over a little bit. So Moose, I don't know, they got to work with that, but I like the potential there. Like he's like, I got to see more of him, but I kind of like the potential there.
I would argue this point. This is why I don't like Moose, because Moose is Cody Rhodes to me. He acts like a professional wrestler. Like he's not
Okay.
living, he's not being a professional. So that in that segment back there, you could tell that he had something written or something to say. He just wanted to get his something to say. No, if somebody's cutting you off, you're gonna get back at them.
Exactly.
Like, stop trying to go back to your point. And that's the thing. Don Callis is trying to nudge him, that's trying to set somebody up. No, you turn up on him. You're like 6 foot something, 300 and something pounds. You turn up on that man.
See,
and that's the issue I have. You act like a professional wrestler. I don't want you to act like a professional wrestler. I want you to be a professional wrestler.
See, for me, it was a little bit different because, again, I know nothing of Moose. Again, I'm going to this shit green. But I was like watching this. I'm like, you've been in the wrestling business for like fucking decades. I feel like Moose has been in this bitch for like 6 months. So I don't expect Moose to know how to do that. That's what was my expectation. And that's why I put it on the other guy. I was like, you can't put him in this predicament when you know he's not going to be able to bob and weave. He knows how to bob, but you ain't taught the motherfucker how to weave or dodge yet. That's how I kind of felt.
Pringles.
Oh, that's fine. He didn't put the R in there. The LE fucks everybody up, so I'm not really too worried about it. I think Swan Omega 1-on-1 would be nice, but I don't know where you go from here. But let's move on to Raw. Despite what my sign says, I did catch the last segment of Raw and the opening segment because I was intrigued because earlier in the day we found out, unfortunately, that Drew McIntyre has COVID-19. So he is out for, I believe, 2 weeks. And he was supposed to face Randy Orton on Monday for the WWE Championship. And who should have to step in but the game, Triple H. He's like, hey, I haven't been here in a while, guys. What's going on? And Randy comes out, Randall, and he's like, I don't like the cut of your jib, old man. I'm going to beat the shit out of you. And he goes, all right, fine. So they have a non-sanctioned street fight at the end of the show where we got to see Triple H do a burning hammer. It was awesome. I mean, I'm sorry. He had a burning hammer. He didn't do a burning hammer. That would have just been the greatest thing of all time. He brought out the sledgehammer. It was lit on fire. The Fiend's little entrance thing starts to happen. Triple H seemingly disappears into the void, so he's gone forever. And Alexa Bliss in the ring, standing, looking at Randall. And then, as Ken said, she caught him with a Hadouken. Hadouken! Right to the face. Boom. She used that Harry Potter wand, cast a spell, fire in the face, and we go off the air with Orton being like, ow, my face is hot. Yep, there he is. He's like, my face is it's uncomfortable for me. So I guess my question to you guys is, what did you think about Triple H showing up and kind of quote unquote filling in? And are you kind of at the end here with Randy and the Fiend, or do you want to keep seeing where this goes?
I every time Triple H comes on screen, I'm definitely interested. And one thing that we go from me talking about Moose to me talking about Triple H. One thing that Triple H could do, he could make things feel real. Like, he doesn't have to be in a program or anything. He comes out, and if for some reason, he could just make things feel real and grounded. Until, the whole, what do you have to go get your balls out of your wife's bag, whatever Randy said. It's like, all right. But before then, like I just love the energy that Triple H is able to exude, and he's always had that. He's like, that's always has made him, you know, a star. Like, that's always made him a top guy. And it just shows the leaps and bounds of like Triple H, Randy Orton, and everybody else. Right? Like you could just tell on the mic, like there's Triple H, there's Randy Orton, and then like who came after this? I forgot even the people that was like after this segment. So am I tired of Randy and Fiend? Not quite. I love what they're doing with Alexa Bliss. I love it because they're adding another layer, and she's able to still be a mainstay on the show without taking bumps. And I think that's great because we all know how good she is in a ring. And I think once she really starts to work again in a ring, that will be even more fantastic. But right now she doesn't have to, and she's still telling a story. So I love the fact that they're telling this story without actual wrestling going on. That should allow other things to be more interesting in the show.
Right.
Should is a big word.
You bring up a point there about Alexa Bliss and her not taking bumps recently, and kind of seemingly for a very long time. But tomorrow night, Johnny, she has a match again. It's a non-title match against Asuka. Do you think?
Ooh.
Do you think where we are right now in her storyline, where she's not really taking a lot of bumps, she's more story driven than wrestling driven? Do you think we're going to actually see a match, or are we going to see some ridiculousness, maybe with Orton coming, playing an organ, and he has the Phantom of the Opera mask on or something? I don't know. What do you think we'll get an actual match out of Alexa Bliss and Asuka tomorrow?
Good question. I think honestly is more of the latter of what you just said, is like Randy will interfere to some degree. We might get to see the premiere. Maybe, I kind of feel like Randy's going to like interfere. I do feel like at some point she's going to like, she started showing glimpses of her new wrestling character, kind of like how like we go from Bray Wyatt to the Fiend. She's been showing glimpses of her new character a little bit, like early on a couple months ago. So I feel we're going to get that later on. But like right now, I kind of feel this is just like setting up more, because that's how I kind of feel all the storyline is that they're doing on Raw. This is kind of like set up and like waiting in the water as we wait for the Fiend's new form to debut, which I'm totally fine with because it's all interesting and nothing's like truly bad. So the thing about it is I was like, oh, this is straight, because we know we're supposed to get this new Fiend that's coming down the pipeline pretty soon. So I'm looking forward to that, and that's dope. And also to your other comment about the Harry Potter, there's only one Harry Potter in WWE right now, and that's fucking Bailey. When she was on that Ding Dong show, that shit was
dude.
Michael Cole
that was great, by the way.
I didn't know Cole had it in him. I was like, oh shit, Cole got jokes. I didn't know this was your repertoire, sir. So yeah, but again, like I think this is going to just be more set up to like keep the storyline going and progressing, and Randy will interfere at some point because with Randy, that motherfucker's always going to get his vengeance.
Absolutely. So we move on to AEW this week, and I actually, I thought the show was fine. We're not going to go real in depth to it, but there is one thing that I am very intrigued about, and once again, something I don't think this time last year I would have said, is I'm intrigued to see what happens with Hangman Page. Now, Hangman Page, they did a little segment backstage where it was the Dark Order was being interviewed, and it was like a who was it? I think it was Alex Marvez started interviewing the Dark Order, and then Hangman came in, and they basically said, we want to know if you're in. Like, we want to know if you are going to be in the Dark Order. And he says, all right, I'll let you guys know at the end of our match next week. And the match that they are having is it's Silver, Reynolds, Cabana, and Hangman Page taking on, oh boy, I can't remember the teams they're taking on. I think it's the Hybrid 2 and the Acclaimed. I could be very wrong about that, but they are going to have a match, and then they are going to, Hangman Page is going to decide. I know we talked about this a little bit last week, and I'd love to know what chat thinks as well. Do you think Hangman Page should accept this invitation and become a part of, as I like to call them, the Muppets of All Elite Wrestling?
Damn, John, damn.
That is not an insult. They are a fun-loving group of people.
Okay, all right, that's dope. Okay, for sure, because I do like the Muppets too. But legit though, so like honestly, I found the segment funny. I thought the segment was dope. Like I loved how like it started off with homie interview and was like, oh my god, Adam Page, like, oh my god, I can't believe I can talk.
I love you. I love you, Adam.
Hilarious. This is dope. And then I just loved the fact they were like, well, Adam's going to give us a response next week. He's like, all right, I'll tell you after the match, if we win or whatever. And they're like, Adam's going to join. I was like, this is freaking dope.
Yeah.
Honestly, it just kind of makes me wonder like how long are the Dark Order going to be faces for? Because before they go back to heels. And so honestly, like either way it goes, like again, I like everything Adam Page has been doing. But if he were to join though, like I'm like, dude, if he were to join and they were to go back to heels, then maybe he'd like get a new moniker. And I was like thinking like, oh, what if he starts going by the name like the Dark Rider? Like and like that, and that'd be like fucking dope and everything like that. Starts coming out with like, you know, like a black cowboy hat on, a black trench coat type deal, the Dark Rider and everything. I was like, that could be badass. It'd be like the next phase of his character is gonna be maybe goes on a nice little heel run because they do need like some type of like star presence within there, and that could be a great turning point for them. So that would be pretty. So that's my idea. If he does join, have him go heel and bring in the Dark Rider aspect.
I could see that. That's funny. Let Silver pull out a win. Page tells them they don't need him. I mean, that, you know what? That would be a nice little thing too, because he's not in turn saying like, I'm not going to join you guys. He's saying, hey, I like you guys, but you don't need me. You guys are good on your own. Neeson, we were just talking about if Hangman Page is going to officially join the Dark Order after the match next week. They gave him, well, they didn't give him an ultimatum. They just asked.
And he said he'll let him know, right?
And then he said, I'll let you know after our match next week.
I think he should. Like, why not at this point? You know, it's why not? And it's makes the best for BTE, and I can't wait for Monday BTE. Yes.
And I also think the other thing is like, we've gone back and forth with Adam Page where he was in the Elite. He seemed to fit in for the most part, but then they kind of soured on him, I guess, you know, because of his drinking and because of everything else. Mm-hmm. But these people, they generally like him for who he is. Mm-hmm. And I think like that's just a good positive message. Like, hey, maybe those Elite guys weren't the best dudes. You should come hang out with us. We like you and we like hanging out with you and we think you're a cool dude. And I could see that. That's how it should be. I feel, you know, I think it'd be cool of him to join the Dark Order. Honestly,
it would also be dope if he started tagging with Silver, and every time before a match, he always looks at him and says, "Hi ho, Silver."
I'm surprised they haven't done that yet.
They need to do this. It writes itself. Come on.
Oh my goodness.
Cowboy shit.
Cowboy shit. Well, speaking of cowboy shit, the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic started off this week on NXT at 16 teams, which I think might be the most they've ever had. Look at them. Holy moly. Those are the teams that have already gone on to the next round. Before we talk more in depth about the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, we had a debut. You can see in your upper right-hand corner there, we had the team formerly known as the Rascals making their debut as MSK. They are now known as Nash Carter and Wes Lee. I don't know if I thoroughly enjoy those names, but I thought they had a very good debut match. I thought they debuted against the right people because they're probably most familiar with those two guys. And I thought they looked really good. So let's talk about MSK. Neeson, what'd you think?
Ember Moon had the WWE PC on their YouTube put out a video about their premiere, about their first match in NXT. I have two things. One, Ember Moon said it best. She said, you see a lot of people try to do what they have done and they don't do it as good as them. And I agree. It's something about the Little Rascals, MSK, that they just have it. Like it's and you can see people trying to imitate it, but it's like Ricochet is Ricochet and everybody else tries to be Ricochet. Mm-hmm. Right? You've seen it. You certain wrestlers that have this. And speaking of Ricochet, he's only been in WWE for 3 years.
Whew.
It's only been 3 years, and he has won a United States title. He has done everything on the main roster. He has fought Brock Lesnar. Yeah, fought Brock Lesnar for a couple of seconds. But he was in the same class as Candice LeRae and the Vikings, right?
Mm.
I could see MSK being on the main roster by the end of the year.
Okay.
Like, I could see them being they didn't spend damn near any time in the PC.
Nope.
Right? Like, I could see them being just like, and we think Ricochet was on the main roster within 9 months, I believe.
Yeah, he was not down in NXT for that long.
Not for that long. And I just see them going that same route, man, because they jump off your screen and they have
it. John, you got something to say?
Nope.
Okay. I was gonna say the piggyback of this. So this is my first time seeing these cats, and dude, I like them a lot. Like, one, I like their energy. I like the energy they come out with. I like, again, like doing like the jump off the ropes and everything like that. I love the unique offense they bring because it was a lot of movesets that I haven't seen before. And the thing about this is there's movesets I've seen people try to do, but not actually be able to execute. So that was dope to see. And it's too early to tell, but as I was watching, I was like, oh shit. You give me Hardy vibes. Y'all give me but not yet. Too early to say. But you give me vibes, though. You give me vibes. So I thought that was really dope. And to be real, I also love the diversity as well, because a lot of times we see tag teams are same race a lot of times. So you need like, oh, brothers with brothers, Asians with Asians, whites with white, blah, blah, blah. But it was like, no, son. Like, we coming together. Like, like United Nations type deal. So I like that diversity they got going with them too.
Don't say that too loud. Don't say that too loud. It'll be a United Nations tag team in WWE on Monday.
Yeah, good point. Good point. But yeah, I like what they're doing, and I agree. Like as I was watching, I was like, I don't need to be here. Like, y'all needed to be here to like get used to the company, get used to like all the stuff that's going on. Maybe get used to like the work schedule, the way that WWE matches work, and everything like that. But yeah, I agree with Nice. I can see these guys going to the main roster pretty quickly. And I know we're about to transition about who we're going to think is going to win the Dusty Cup. But honestly, they're low-key one of my picks, because when I look at the history of the Dusty Cup, it's always tag teams or individuals who are tagging together, who they believe in, who they're trying to give that push to. So for me, I'm like, these guys could be in there to possibly win this Dusty Cup, because they just come in hot, rookies win the Dusty Cup, and it takes them like to a tag team title match, and so on and so forth. And then they're kind of like fast track through the company to get to the main roster. So I can totally see that happening. I do have a second pick, who I think is the favorite to win, but I want to hear what y'all think first.
Yeah, let's bring up that bracket one more time and just take a look at it. I will just say I'm a little disappointed that Everrise was one and done. I feel like the former 3.0, the Chikara alum, I think they're a very good tag team. They also are a very good like straight man / insane person tag team. And I really wish they had been paired up against somebody else that they didn't want to push as much, because I think Everrise deserves more time than they're getting. But just looking at everything here, I mean, and you're right, every other division or every other winner we've had for the most part has been a makeshift team. But I really do hope, I think, like, I'm just looking at it, I don't think winning the Dusty Cup again does anything for Undisputed Era. I think if they go to the finals and ultimately lose to maybe MSK, or I wouldn't even mind seeing Phantasma make it all the way there. I think that those two guys are severely underrated. But I think MSK ultimately pulls it out. And that's just my opinion.
So I want to see how Ashanti Adonis and Desmond Troy work, because I think that is going to be an interesting. I think they're going to go to the round against Undisputed Era. But if we're just going from the top, I think MSK definitely is the lead, which I think they're not going to win. That's why I think everybody has them being favored to win. I think they're not going to win. I think it'll probably be Grizzled Young Vets or The Way.
Okay, I could see that.
It'll be a heel team most likely.
I will also say I watched Ashanti wrestle on 205 Live, I think last week, and I was like, this dude's got it. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's put him in a bigger spot. But I mean, this could be that bigger spot. I mean, if they win and then they beat Undisputed Era, I mean, they don't even have to. I don't even think they have to win the Dusty Cup. You beat Undisputed Era.
Yeah.
So I think that is an interesting pick as well. But something else that I was like, are they going to do this? And then they said, yeah, John, we are going to do this.
Oh, wait. I have my other pick. I didn't get my pick, though. My second pick.
Oh, sorry.
Real quick. Sorry, my bad. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, all good.
So like I agree with Ashanti Adonis, Desmond Troy there on my notes as well, because again we got to see Ashanti cut a promo after NXT event like a while back when he was backing up. I think it was Swerve, or I think it was Swerve. He's backing up, and when I saw him, I was like, this brother got something. Like I want to see what he's going to do. He's finally like figured himself out as his character. So I'm excited to see what he does in this tournament. I don't see them winning quite yet though, but low key the ones who I see winning are as you said, John Phantasma. Because I think they got put into this corner where they're just seen as like the backup or the henchman. But both these guys can actually go. They both can like do some pretty dope things in the ring. And I think this could be their coming out party. Because if they come out and win this, then it gives a heel tag team that's in this division to go after like Undisputed Era and like all these other things. And it potentially could become faction warfare later on down the line as well. So I kind of see them finally building up these two, because you built up the main guy in that group, with Mendoza. Right, Mendoza, right?
Escobar. Mendoza is in the tag team.
Thank you. Sorry, Escobar. Thinking about but yeah, so I think that could like help out a lot.
Do not mess up the 205 champion's name, okay? You're champion of the greatest 1 hour of wrestling on television. Santos Escobar, baby. Do not mess up his name. Second thing, you love you some 205 Live, don't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You love it.
You love it.
It's 205. I don't know what you're talking about.
205 Live, baby. All right. So the other thing I was like, are we gonna do this thing NXT? And they said, John, chill, we got it. We're getting the women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic as well. So far we only have 4 teams named to this. I am going to look them up because I have forgotten them all off the top of my head right now.
Kaylin and Casey.
Thank you. Yes. Team Ninja.
Team Ninja.
We have also Candice and Indy. We have Ember and Shotzi. And then we have actually no, Mike's right. This is the only outcome. Raquel Gonzalez win without a partner.
Nice.
Perfect. And then we
have
Braun Strowman it. Braun Strowman it. Yeah, just have someone's son.
Nicholas.
He had Nicholas. And then who's the other team? The other team is Toni Storm and oh my goodness. She was in Retribution and then was not in Retribution.
Oh, Martinez?
Mercedes Martinez.
Oh, yeah.
So those are the 4 teams right now. They haven't said how many teams we're getting, but I think this is a step in the right direction. If the team that wins doesn't get a shot at the WWE Women's Tag Team titles, it's already a failure. But we'll see. I mean, I want to see what other teams they announce. But yeah, I want to see some more teams before I pick who I think will win.
The Iconics should have been in this.
Yes.
Sasha and Bailey should have been in this.
Linda McMahon.
Lana, Linda McMahon and Stephanie. Lana and Natalia should have been in this. They have it's a long list. You said who?
Nia and Shayna.
Okay. But it's a long list.
No, but I mean, it should just be like everyone who is not the tag team champion should be in this tournament, because I think that would lift it up automatically. Like with the Dusty Cup that we've had so far, it's like this is a big deal because we have the prestige. With the Women's Cup, it's like we don't have that prestige yet. So,
and not only that though, but this is one of the few times because they're not traveling. Like, all the women are there in Florida. So it's like, dude, you can just go ahead and put a bunch of brackets together, put some teams together, and just like fucking have a ball out of this and just like let women shine. It's kind of like I was talking about last week. Not every woman gets a star on SmackDown or Raw because they only have a certain amount of time and the roster is like they only do 2 or 3 segments. But again, this would give so many tag teams, like bring Naomi out, bring out all these people who get a chance to come out and like tag and do this and give them a chance to shine real quick. And I agree, like I'm excited for it and dope. But I have no pick yet because I'm looking like we only got 4 teams. Like, who else is going to be in this bad boy?
The other thing that is interesting about the men's Dusty is it's happening on different shows. So, I mean, you've already established that because some of them are happening on 205, some of them are happening on NXT. So it's like, why can't you have one of these on SmackDown? Like, why are you not helping out your other shows? Just be like, if you want to see more action in the Women's Dusty Cup, check out NXT on Wednesdays or check out a Raw on Mondays or, you know.
So word is that they don't want to mix talent a lot because of COVID. And that's why we didn't get Raw. That's why we didn't get NXT at Survivor Series. That's probably why we're not going to get NXT in Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't. Yeah, because they just don't. It's more talent you bring over. Say they're going to bring over 100 NXT people. That's a higher risk of potentially getting people affected. So they've been very cautious about keeping PC, NXT, and a PC, and then them in Tampa. So as much as I wish that, like I said, those people I named that they were going to be in it, I don't see them doing that because they don't want to have it mixed. Now, if they could keep it to where it's separate until then, yeah, but then you're going into storyline, going into the middle of Rumble season on their main things when you have everybody declaring to be into the Royal Rumble except for Drew Gulak, and he has to fight AJ Styles next week because
why not?
Yeah,
I wonder, like you bring up a good point. He said it makes me wonder how this is going to affect Legends coming back too now for the Rumble.
Well, the way I read it, from Kevin Nash put a tweet out that said, when we go down there, we quarantine in a hotel, then we go there, and if we have symptoms, they send us right back to the hotel. If we don't, we're good to go. And then we go back and quarantine again and then leave. So, I mean, we haven't seen, they could technically have some NXT people do that, but you would just have to go, who haven't I seen on TV in 3 weeks? I mean, so far, Rhea Ripley would be one.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the only one I could think of off the top of my head. Maybe EO, but I feel like we might have seen her.
Have we seen as a British has the British champion been doing stuff lately? Women's champion?
Kaylee Ray?
Yeah, has she been on TV or doing anything?
She has been on UK TV, which is okay. So we got one more thing we want to talk about for NXT, and I think this is kind of worth mentioning because we were just talking about Io Shirai. We haven't seen her. She's seemingly beaten everybody in the women's division, but we are getting the reemergence of Xie Lee and this I don't know what to make of this. Basically, she is just squashing the hell out of people, and she has this mysterious figure in the background that is directing her in what to do. What do you guys think of the build of Xie Lee so far, and do you think she could be like a legitimate contender to Io Shirai down the line?
Dude, total Mortal Kombat vibes. Total Mortal Kombat vibes. I'm just looking like that's Shang Tsung back there. That is Shang Tsung, and somebody stole it ticket, and I am here for this ride. This shit is fire. Like, legit. Not only is he getting over Xie Lee, is good over this Bolo-looking dude from Enter the Dragon, who's over here standing to the side, was like, oh shit, what's he going to start doing? And then it made me with the person to cheer, like, what the fuck are they going to start doing? Are they going to like start coming and ripping people's hearts out or some shit like that? So it's working right now because it's got me interested, and it's a great rebuild for her character because her last character, it was cool, but this is so interesting. And honestly, it could also be the beginning of a new faction as well. And I like the fact they're doing this slow build with it, where it's like, we're just going to have you squash people, beat people up, blah, 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 and then all of a sudden, you're going to pounce. And y'all going to start making y'all move towards something. But like right now, I'm loving this shit. It's just dope as hell.
Neeson.
Yeah, I like it. I want to see where it goes. I think the mysterious woman is what's her name? That's rumored to sign NXT.
Oh my goodness, John. God damn it. It's oh my god, Mako Satomura. Oh my god, John. You watch Japanese wrestling all the time anyways.
Right. So I think it's her. And I kind of be like, well, it's a Chinese thing. I don't know, but I think it's her. I think that'll be the perfect gimmick to debut her to be a head of a faction and a multi-gender faction as well.
Yes,
I think that's rare, and that's something with 2 women and 1 guy. I think that's fantastic, and also we rarely seen. I forget his name, but we rarely see him work. And when I did see him work, I was like, oh. He's athletic as hell. Okay.
Yeah, they've very much kept him close to the vest. They have not They have not shown us most of his work, which is interesting.
So I think once he gets unleashed, it'll be fantastic. So I'm just interested. I want to see where it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. More follow-up, guys, from last week. If you recall, Johnny said, "Man, is this the return of Shinsuke Nakamura as a face? Are we going to hear Rising Sun once again?" And the answer to that question is yes. Shinsuke Nakamura taking on Jey Uso, coming out to the original song that he debuted to, getting a win over Jey Uso, I believe.
Yes, getting a win. It was a damn good match. Shinsuke and Jey Uso, man.
So, I mean, how far do you think we're going to go with Shinsuke here? Do you think after Royal Rumble, which we will talk about in a minute, do you think he's going to be Roman's opponent before Roman goes on to WrestleMania?
I think we're getting eventually a Shinsuke Cesaro 7-match best out of 7 feud coming down.
Okay.
I think that's where we're going, and I'm here for it. And Shinsuke, you could tell he's definitely has understood that he doesn't have to change his wrestling style to match the WWE crowd. He could just be himself. And I think he fell into that of being himself. I wish they didn't. I love the Japanese rap, and I could still would have sung over it, but I just thought, I thought it was just so hard. Like it was like,
I loved it. I thought it was very cool.
The band, it was just aggressive, and it felt aggressive. But look, man, SmackDown is the A show. Main event: Jey Uso, Shinsuke Nakamura, Big Homie Rome, Paul Heyman, Adam Pearce. We'll talk about Apollo, Big E. Oh my God, there's just so much going on. Everything feels important. Every segment has a story. And this is why I say it's the best wrestling on television, because you have Shinsuke Nakamura. And then we also had Daniel Bryan versus Cesaro.
Yeah.
It's just in a damn good match.
Mm-hmm.
A damn good match. So it's just like they're just building both of this. They're taking this tag team, building this tag team up. And I believe to face each other in the best of 7, and then next thing you know, they're gonna help each other get over.
So here's the thing. So I totally agree with Nice. Can we just start talking about SmackDown real quick and the points there?
Yeah.
Okay. So dude, I was so excited. I got so amped. Well, but first off, though, I'm gonna just talk about Jey Uso in that promo. That promo was fire. Like the fact again, the reason why I've gone from Big Homie Rome to Nino Rome now is because Nino Rome taking over the blocks. Like he's taking over everything. Because Jey Uso coming to that program was like, no. You don't think this Rome just running this? We're gonna be running other stuff. We're running other shows. I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to expand. They're about to expand to SmackDown, to NXT. Like I can see his brother coming back. Was like, all right, we run this. You need to go hold down Raw for us. Go show them who runs that now. It's like, oh shit, they're expanded. So it just brings up these cool story possibilities. But Jay has grown so much. That promo he cut was like, when y'all got caught catering the food in the back, y'all need to be saying, thank you, Roman. When y'all got fresh towels like I do, you be saying, thank you, Roman. That shit was fucking brilliant and dope. And again, to go back to Shinsuke coming out his face, again, having this great match with Jey Uso, doing the Lord's work out there was so dope to see. And then followed by that, though, we got this dope match with Daniel Bryan and Cesaro, to Nisa's point, which was just absolute fire. It was technically beautiful, but false finishes and like really hard hitting stuff to the point where Cesaro was bleeding from his ear. I'm like, holy shit, they going all out right now. And shout out to Corey Graves, because Corey Graves kept bringing up Cesaro's like running there. He's like, no, Cesaro's one of the best guys. He has all the respect in the back. He has all these things going for him, but we've only seen him in like hot flashes. But he's never had like a run. So it feels like they're about to give him a run, and I totally agree. His next opponent is going to be Shinsuke, and when those two meet, they're going to tear the house down. It's going to be an amazing match. Follow that up. I love what happened with Adam Pearce later on. Adam Pearce is a homie of Punk. He a snitch. He undercover cop. Because they were trying to set Nino Rome up and everything like that. So I don't like that shit. You need to leave Nino Rome alone. Nino Rome is for the people. He gives out turkeys on Christmas. You need to calm that shit down, Adam Pearce. But yeah, that's just me.
So in chat, Matthew says Cesaro's early sleeper for him to win Rumble. That would be an interesting thing, especially if he challenged Roman, because we do have the Paul Heyman Cesaro connection, as Cesaro is a former Paul Heyman guy. So that would be an interesting story from there. I don't know. Do you think Cesaro could carry it on his own?
I mean,
promo wise.
So it's kind of weird. I think if we remember back, if y'all think to years ago before we had a quarantine, when we got to do that dope panel at LA Comic Con, and one of the questions that was asked was like, who's a wrestler do you think is like underutilized that you like to see more of? My answer was Cesaro. And so I'm hoping that he's grown, and I hope he has. Like, isn't that like based upon what he's done in the past? I don't see it. Like, I don't see by his past, but I'm hoping that like with the staff that got there now, the writing staff, and maybe he's been working on some stuff. I'm hoping this actually works out for him, and maybe he could like start cutting these promos and could become a top guy.
I don't think there's any way Shinsuke is winning the Royal Rumble this year.
Not at all.
Mainly because he already won it, and they fucked that up real bad. Yeah, I don't think that's where we're headed. But where we're headed right now is a little bit of a swerve, if you will. We get the contract signing. Before the contract signing, I believe, is it Adam Pearce that makes it a no D? He's like, no. They say you need to teach him a lesson. Needs to be a stipulation, no disqualification, correct?
Well, Roman doesn't say anything. Paul Heyman, Roman just sits there. He's like, I'm not signing this. And Roman, like, guys, Roman is in the running for heel of the year right now.
Absolutely.
But Roman Reigns is having a Hall of Fame run. Like, he had all the accolades to be in the Hall of Fame before, headlining WrestleMania 5 times, blah, 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 all that bullshit. But this, like, imagine if there was a crowd. Like, he will be getting, like, we will never hear boos like this ever before, but it will be respectable but loud. We get Undertaker boos. I mean, the day after Mania boos every single time he steps on a mic. Like, and I'm just yearning for it. But yes, he said he wasn't signing it. Paul Heyman said, "Oh yeah, you need to teach him a lesson. I'm gonna get him a no disqualification match." He brought it back to him. Roman was telling Apollo about control and how to control your story, your narrative. The minute he interrupts Apollo telling him about control, he tells him this isn't good enough. And then he goes back to say to Apollo, see, you have to control your narrative. And then he goes and says, well, we're going to do a last man standing match. So then he goes back and he says, fine, last man standing match. You're going to sign it in the ring. And here we are in the ring.
So Adam Pearce goes to sign it. He does not sign it, and he presents the contract to a returning Kevin Owens. So Kevin Owens signs the contract, and now that is the match we are getting at Rumble. Personally, a little disappointed. I thought I thought we'd give Adam Pearce. I think the storytelling makes sense. I think it would have been nice to see Adam Pearce maybe get that one match, one and done, have a really good match with the top guy, and then just call it a day. It would get a lot more heat on Roman than he already has for beating up some dude. And I think it would be a nice little send-off for Adam Pearce, the wrestler. But the scrap daddy. But I mean, Kevin Owens, Roman, they work great together. I guess I can't be too disappointed.
Yeah.
Only reason I'm disappointed is because we know how this is going to end. And I mean, we would have knew how to end with Scrap Daddy, but at least it would have been entertaining type, like just different. It would have been something different. And I love the storytelling that they're doing, but highly, highly, highly saddened by them not using old Scrap Daddy.
Sorry, Johnny. You know what might happen? Jay could be like, "Oh, so you think you can disrespect Roman? I'm going to fight you." They could do Jay versus Adam Pearce. Johnny, what do you think about that? And also, what were your comments?
I like that. Good job, John. You should be booking. You should be working there. Good job.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I like that. It's a dope idea because it keeps Jay involved and gets like him, Scrap Daddy, a chance to get out there and do some stuff. So that's dope and everything. And then followed up, like, honestly, it's weird. Like when Kevin came out, I wasn't upset with it because like it's funny. Like we were talking about this in the chat like a while back, our group chat or whatever, about how Kyle and Finn too, and some of us weren't that like all excited or impressed with it. And I remember when Kyle and Finn 2 got announced, like I wasn't that excited for it. But when Kevin Roman 2 got announced, I was like, I'm here for this. And I think because I was trying to contemplate on, I think it's because of Kevin Owens' his own creativity and the uniqueness that he brings to a ring and doing storytelling in a match and willing to do different spots or whatnot. That I was like, I can see this being really different from the first one. And so I'm actually okay with it because I like when KO gets the spotlight and he's yet to make me disengage whenever he gets the main stage.
Okay. So, I know what I want to talk about. Guys, go on YouTube, youtube.com/that#showtv, and check out my interview I did with Deonna Purrazzo.
Yes.
It was a lot of fun. She was super cool, and our dogs could be twins and puppy tag team champions of the world due to shenanigans. Obviously, they would be heels. But yeah, go check that out. That was a lot of fun. Does anybody else have anything else they want to plug? Look at that, Shaq. Oh, we didn't even talk. No, we're not talking about it. Nope.
I guess the only thing I had to plug is one, again, shout out to Bayley and Bianca Belair. I'm looking forward to this thing they got coming on SmackDown where they competing against each other. It gives me MVP versus Matt Hardy vibes, where I'm like, this shit's going to be hilarious. And also shout out to Bayley for our new show. Ding Dong Who's There? Ding Dong Hello, which I was like, this shit is funny. Next
Ding Dong Hello.
You come in my house. Good job, Bayley. Good job. So that was dope. And then also, I guess last thing, plug. If you get a chance, check out my show, Disney Plus. It's also on YouTube. We dropped the first second episode of our season coming back. And this Tuesday, we drop a new episode. We're reviewing Johnny Tsunami. The shit's hilarious. It's amazing. So tune in Tuesday at Disney Plus Diversity. We'll be dropping that on Tuesday. Johnny Tsunami review, Disney Plus Diversity.
Neeson, what do you got?
Just tune in to America on Wednesday.
Stay safe, everybody. Please stay safe. Man, you just took the complete wind out of my sails because I went Wednesday and then I went, yeah, we're gonna find out if Adam Page is gonna join the Dark Order or not. Of course.
No, it'll be a Dark Order. All right, guys.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Oh,
John, I got one more last thing.
Yes.
Happy MLK weekend, everybody.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
For all the opportunities and things he's done, and make sure you take some time of that day to like remember him and like the continued struggle that we still have.
Yeah, I'll be working. Yeah. I feel like after all that we've been through during this last year, any company that makes you work on Monday isn't a company that you should be working for.
Well, thank goodness my company gave me the day off.
Hey, mine too. Hey, mine too.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll be here again next week, same time, all those places that we Facebook.com/THS Wrestling News, YouTube.com/that #show TV, Instagram.com/THS.wrestling, and oh my goodness, Twitch.tv/that #show. And
oh yeah, follow me on PlayStation. Stay Fly Life.
follow Neeson on PlayStation. I just kitted out a new sniper rifle, Neeson. We got to try it out in the old Warzone.
I just bought Black Ops Cold War and Fall Guys. So those are 3 games: Spider-Man, Black Ops, and Fall Guys.
Right on.
I'm about to beat Spider-Man right now after we hang up.
Ooh, all right. Also, shout out to Hunter, who wrote a review on Hard to Kill. It's up on that #show.com right now. Make sure you go give that a read for a different take, because we all have different takes and we welcome them all here, and we all love professional wrestling. But guys, that #show.com for everything trending in geek, pop, culture, and we'll see you guys next week.